Listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Tige Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Tige Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 five-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tige Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Tige Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off your first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today. It's go time. Look at Shane. Showing out already. What's going on, family? Welcome to King Talk. Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got Trigger Mike, Humble Dad, Shannon Rawls, Sean Antonio, Heat, Purple Pill Pod, 9-Set Mogul, Cloud Jones, Luis, and me myself. I'm Lapeef JR. Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Good.
We all right. What's up?
Y'all all so cool.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, big brothers?
What's going on, y'all?
Got the cool gang in the house, man. Y'all. So, trying to get this whole setup messed up, man. Anyhow, welcome to King Talk. Good to see you guys in attendance. Shout out to the sponsor, Tige Hanley Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. So make sure you guys feel the Tige by clicking that link. And yeah. Just get in order. Just get in order. Summer's right around the corner, gentlemen. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to all my green gang that's in the chat right now. Chike Auto LLC, City Boy 313 Team Fatty is in the building. Will G, the AP, the accountability partner. If you want to become part of Green Gang, that link is pinned to the top of the chat. So make sure you guys go ahead and click that link and go green. Just make sure you mute in between. Getting that feedback. All right, gentlemen, y'all ready? Somebody got a delay. What was that? Y'all hear it?
Yeah, I hear it.
Good to go.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Somebody unfortunately has the live show going at the same time.
Is that you, Cloud? I think it was. I just muted you, Cloud. That probably was you. Let's just make sure you mute in between and then try to turn it down all the way and just only leave StreamYard. I just go to get the show started. Our first topic of the night is multiple wives. Multiple wives. Trigger Mike, I mean you said, oh shit.
We going there, huh? Okay, straight to it, huh?
We're gonna go ahead and go there, man. I want to start off by asking you guys this question first. If you had the choice to have multiple wives, would you? I understand some people can't speak on it, but if you want to be honest and transparent, if it was a thing here.
Who can't speak on it? I would love to know who needs to keep that under wraps.
I don't know, man. I just had to put it out there, man, as a disclaimer. I don't see nobody speaking. Are y'all something that y'all against?
Waiting on you to finish your thought, bro.
I mean, that's good. Just want to open it up.
I would not have multiple wives. Me, Shannon is a no. That's my vote.
I don't know if I would. I mean, I didn't really grow up that way or come to understand it, but I've had
a lot of conversations with a lot of Middle Eastern brothers who do have 2 wives, and they've kind of broken down sort of the psychology and how they go about it. But it's definitely not the way that we here in the West tend to kind of look at having 2 wives. It's viewed a little bit different.
Interesting. What about you, Purple Pill?
I think one girl is hard enough to handle sometimes, man. Especially if you're trying to get like the young pretty ones or something. Like you don't need multiple. They're a pain in the ass already, just one.
Okay. Is she sitting right there?
No.
Okay.
I'll go. No, I cannot have multiple wives. I would not do it. Multiple wives equals multiple opinions, and I'm gonna go nuts. All right, so I think about it a lot, and it's not worth the trouble. A lot of things that we get excited about as men is not worth the trouble. I think if you're gonna do it, either way you do it, you know, if you're gonna have children with the other woman or anything, that's, yeah, like I said, 2 sets of opinions, 2 sets of people, you know, pulling on you for problem solving in different ways. And I do not see men with multiple wives. Yes, some of them do, you know, they work, they have a nice estate. Some of them are even able to house the women separately and things like that. But I don't want to have to set up multiple game plans or, you know, like I said, multiple opinions on what each individual person wants. And I also think for some reason, I don't think a lot of people understand this. I think it has effect on the kids. I think it does, you know, especially in Western society. If it's not common, if all the neighbors don't also have multiple wives, I think you're doing something, you know, weird. They're going to have identity issues. Something's going to be wrong with them, because in a place where only your parents are doing something, but nobody else's parents are doing it, you know, it's going to have a negative effect on them, in my opinion. My mic is muted.
All right.
I want to add to that what he just said, but I kind of disagree, because I feel like nowadays being married is the rare thing. Like nowadays, you live on certain blocks. It's only one couple that actually has a mother and a father in the home, and the rest of them is like they used to like their dad having 2 different baby moms. They used to their mom having 2 different baby fathers. So, you know, I would kind of disagree with that. But where I would agree is that I think that in today's day and age, with the dynamic between men and women, I definitely would not have multiple wives. Maybe when I was a younger man, before I experienced life and experienced society the way it is, I might have that might have seemed like a really great idea to me. But where it is now, no, I feel like it would be like multiple problems, multiple liabilities, and like Mike said, multiple opinions. And I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, me personally, I think once you've been married, it's kind of hard to see somebody who would say yes. I think, just speaking for myself, just being candid, I've always struggled with being vulnerable, with being emotionally available, and being considerate and thoughtful to one woman. So I'm 1,000% sure I wouldn't do it for 2. I mean, 1,000% sure. Also, I know Mike touched on it. I do think it sets a precedent that I wouldn't want my daughter to normalize or get used to. And so that would be really my primary concern, that part, you know, the precedent that I would set with my daughter.
All right. What about you, man? Who was that? Go ahead, Homer. Go ahead.
For me, it's a no, because I follow the Bible, you know, and it says to be a husband of one wife, you know, and of course I can echo other sentiments. Yes, it says that in the New Testament, bro. Okay. Oh, here we go.
The Bible says a deacon should be the husband of one wife.
You don't know what my status is, right? So here we go.
We're not tonight. We're not doing. Y'all did Bible study last time. I'm telling you, we did it for like 45 minutes. Y'all not doing this tonight. They will get into the Bible deep, but my mic is muted. I just want to say that.
All right, go ahead. Finish on with that.
I'm good, bro. That's my answer. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting that nobody fought back on other people's opinion, though. But I got you.
Okay. I want you guys to hold tight real quick. Let me play this clip.
Well, let me answer, JR, if I may.
Yeah. I'm gonna come back to it. I just want to
Okay.
And I'll come back to you, Hank.
Do they have multiple women out there?
Yeah, they do. So in Nigeria, growing up, polygamy is celebrated.
Yeah.
Like, so if you are a one man, one woman type of person, no guy want to hang out with you. They think you're a failure. They think something is wrong with you. But the more women, the more wives you have, the more children you have, the more celebrated you are. You know, I grew up with my granddad, probably had about maybe 8 to 10 wives. Back then, there was some benefit to it because the more wives and children you have, the richer you are. Because you have more manpower to work for you in the farm, so you have more money. So it was also economic reasons, and also it was just the norm of the society. The more women you have, but I didn't like that. You know, I felt like that was for that period. But in the 21st century, just the more women you have, just more stress. Then too, you can silence a woman. A man that can say, "Be quiet," and she won't talk back. He can tell all his wives to be quiet and nobody's going to bother him. But you can't do it right now. They're going to scream at that. You got it in America, you know.
Ain't no way.
Like, you can't tell me nothing.
No way that's happening in America.
So it's more stressful now. So right now, there's changing. So more men are trying to stick with one wife right now.
Are they?
Why you get my cousin to snitch like that, man? God damn. Somebody take his ass to the barbershop. That haircut was not popping.
Hey, but Trigger Mike, I don't know if you know. Well, you do know I'm half Nigerian.
Yeah.
And their brother has the same last name as my father.
Oh, that's your cousin. Oh, my bad. My bad.
I reached out to him to see what he said he didn't know my dad. So I saw that last night. I said, go ahead, Hank.
No, the heathen that and myself, yeah, I'm not for multiple wives. I'm good with one. Yeah, I ain't with that shit.
That's it.
Now, make no mistake. I think I'd be a great husband to multiple women. I think. Really? Yeah. To everything that the women would need would be no problem. I think I'd be a great but like everybody else, I think on this panel has said, is well, not everybody, but because Humble is doing it for religious purposes, but everybody else is just like and I don't even think that we would have had a problem if it was a different era or a different type of women, but the way with what we have to deal with today, one is enough for me. Absolutely, one is enough.
Well,
let me do a little pushback. So I would argue that every guy on this panel, if we just happen to be billionaires and we could have it, like we could have all the leverage with young, beautiful women that were going to be submissive and good and not like this, like find good traditional women to do it. And especially today's day and age when women are more likely to want to do stuff like that because it's becoming more normalized. I think that more guys on this panel would actually take that. I mean, maybe the Christian ones that are very like in their faith, they wouldn't do it. But yeah, I would argue if you had the means, most guys would take it because it's just but
based on what you described, forget the billions, forget the billion part. Based on what you just described, the women that you just described, shit, the average dude to take that.
Yeah. The fact that you framed it as you have to have billions to be able to deal with multiple wives just shows how not worth it is. Like you got to be a billionaire to deal with it. I'm good.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like to have the right amount of leverage, you would have to have an insane amount of money. So it's not.
But you know what, Purple Pill? The reason I disagree with you is it's kind of semantics. I mean, well, it's kind of technical, right? So let's just play out what you said, right? If we were billionaires, the way I would see it, right? I wouldn't have multiple wives. I would have a wife and multiple women. You know what I'm saying? So there would be no need to legally bind myself to multiple women. You feel me? So I understand the spirit of what you're saying, but technically I wouldn't marry all of them. I would just let the one know that shit, it is what it is.
So how I personally would do it is I would that's one way of doing it where you have like your main and then you have your bitches. But the way I would do is I would like a more sister wife thing where I would have like 4 or like 3 or 4 like all on a farm and we're all working together and have all of our kids all babysitting together and stuff. And I wouldn't have a bunch of bitches. I would just have 2 or 3
why can't you do that with multiple
bitches? But yeah.
Well, I don't see what to do.
I wouldn't do that because we're just talking about theoretically, like, you know.
HBIC, head in charge. Anyway, no, seriously. What my cousin was saying in the video was that my dad told me that same story. So my dad grew up on a farm. His father was a farmer. and my father was the fourth in line, and they ran out of money to send him to school, so he worked on the farm with his family, you know, with his father. And that is actually very common. The more hands you have, the more crops you can do. Like, all of that's going on. And it's not always that the men actually marry the women either, but it is built for an economy. So men actually do take women on. I don't really want to use the word concubine. They won't legally marry them. They won't bind themselves to them. But the father died in whatever family, maybe some woman he went to high school with, she will actually approach you. She'll come to you like, listen, I don't want my kids to go wayward. I will come under your protection. They will work on this farm. And he took them in. And he actually built something for them. So these are stories that I heard throughout my life. And multiple wives usually ended up with it meaning manpower. And like he said, wealth building. It was a wealth building tool. None of us, is anybody a farmer here? Like, you know what I mean? None of us are farmers. I think Sean Antonio was right. The model we would, if I had billions, I could house all my joints. That's about it. That's all I would be doing. You get a penthouse. You get a penthouse. You get a penthouse. None of y'all gonna see each other. None of y'all are gonna talk. Y'all not gonna conspire. I'm gonna be here on Tuesday. They're on Wednesday, but I got to be home with my kids before dinner. But you know, that's how most men would do it if we had a chance, especially in America.
Yeah, I think Purple Podcast is trying to be the.
I got to add this. I'm sorry. Non-disclosure agreements all over for everybody.
You feel me?
Yeah, I think Purple Podcast is trying to be the new David Koresh of 2023, man, with all these goddamn wives and
I think one more point of emphasis. Marriage in general overseas is well, let's just say in certain parts of Africa and certain parts of Asia, including India, they see marriage completely different. It's a union between two families. It's completely different than a union between two individuals like we do here. So I think we need to keep that context in mind as well.
I want just to give y'all a little fact. Do y'all know how many the guy who had the most children? Do y'all know what the number was?
Is it 590?
I think his name was something the Impaler, maybe Vlad the Impaler, something the Impaler, and it was 888. And do y'all know what the woman was that had the most children?
100.
What the number was? It was 69. She had 69 kids.
Why 69? She should have had one more.
I think 69 was a great number to end it on.
Damn. That's service. She should get a medal. Thank you for your service.
All right. Go ahead, Louise. Did you chime in yet?
How do you remember the names? Hold on. How do you remember the names of 69 of your children?
I don't think you remember it, man. I think Nick Cannon already had a problem with it. So,
oh boy.
Go ahead, Louise.
I'm pretty sure that Nick Cannon has all his kids' baby moms and all of his kids' name written down somewhere, and it's part of his daily schedule. But no, look, I think that in theory it's an interesting idea, but unfortunately, I don't know how that really works out, especially in our sort of westernized economy world, right? But I would say this. If everything went to shit tomorrow, like everything crashed, like there's no more internet, like power grid is all messed up, right? We literally have to start over from scratch. Now I would dare to ask how many people would opt in, how many women would opt in to align themselves with the biggest and strongest man in order to survive. I think that the conditions that are set within the society at that moment would present different outcomes, right? Times is good. I mean, we talked about this before. Times is good. There aren't many major wars being fought and people dying and stuff. So I think times are a little bit more harsh compared to previous generations back. But if we had to do a complete restart, I think that the way that many people would approach marriage and dating would be completely different.
I think if we had to do a complete restart, then the institution of marriage probably wouldn't exist, because we wouldn't allow it to exist because we're too educated to allow it again.
Okay. Master Moga, what you got?
It would be done for. Like, we would just get rid of that entire doctrine.
Absolutely. Because I'm mad at the guys who allowed it to come to be anyway. I mean, to be honest, it should be like NBA contracts. You know what I'm saying? Give me a player option. You know what I'm saying? A 2-year contract with a player option. You got to prove yourself every year. You know what I'm saying? So,
where do you think marriage came from?
I don't know, and I don't care. It,
Go ahead, Matt. What are your thoughts about it?
Personally, I definitely think marriage came out in a time where there was maybe the economy wasn't as big. So, when the economy is not as big and there aren't that many options for women, it's kind of like, somebody has to be there to protect them or take responsibility, because we're talking about a time where there weren't all these, there was just farm jobs. So really the people that were working were the people who were able to lift things, able to actually do the physical work. So I feel like that's where it stemmed from. It stemmed from a time where things were less financially abundant. But I definitely understand where you're coming from as far as saying you would do away with it. But I feel like if we had less resources, the same thing would happen all over again.
All right. All right, go ahead, man.
Yeah, 100%. Sending a lot of love to everybody who's sharing, making valid points. Me, I'm always going to come from a different level of perspective. That's just what I do. I'm thinking you can have multiple wives as long as you're in alignment with your assignment. You understand? Like, if your assignment is to have multiple wives, you can have multiple wives, right? For me, I think most people operate on the sense of either looking at the history of something or looking at what is now. I like to look at the possibilities. I don't see why you can't have multiple wives. I think you could create any world that you want to create around you as long as you do it with intention, right? So it's not about what's right or wrong. It's about what's workable and non-workable. And I think most people operate from the past. For me, I think that comes from like a schooling or a habit thing. Like when you're in school, most likely they talk about history, or when you're around family and friends, they talk about what was. Me, I'm always about what is right now. I think that if you operate in the present, you get gifted with things. So like if you are talking to a woman who clearly understands your mission, who clearly understands your goal and your assignment, you can get women to do anything. You can get women to do anything. That's how I believe. But what I think is most people think about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wives, maybe just 2, maybe just 2. That might be workable in this day and age. But once again, honestly, you create whatever you want. You want multiple wives, get multiple wives.
Yeah, I agree with them. If you can get 2 or 3 solid ones, if you can get brain change desire, and there's definitely girls that will do that shit. There's tons of girls that will do it. So I agree with you on that for sure, man.
but what would be the benefit to having multiple wives as opposed to a wife and multiple joints? If there's no legal benefit, if there's no financial benefit, if I can.
I want to jump in and say something. Oh, my bad. He's still going.
Yeah, keep going, Sean.
Sean, if you got a phone call, you probably got to go back out and come back in. It's a probably there's something with the audio. Go ahead, man. I said why he coming back in.
100%. The benefit is your choice. Like I want everybody to normalize creating opportunities in your life. Like create the world you want to see. Like if you want multiple wives, the reason is your reason. Maybe you just want to be with one person on one day, and then the other person on the other day. Like that's enough valid reason as long as you're in communication with those individuals. Once again, I'm not held by the traditional standard of anything. I like to create my life. So for me, it would be if I wanted multiple wives, I just want multiple wives. I'm just getting multiple.
Well, he was saying, like, what's the benefit? I mean, it's a whole extra teammate. Like, it's a huge benefit. Like, what do you mean? Like, when it comes to take care of kids, when it comes to anything, it's a massive benefit. It's just most people can't leverage it. If you have to be the guy to get that. Like, you really got to be the guy. And a lot of guys aren't the guy. And a lot of guys aren't on their purpose like that. But if you're on your purpose like that and you're the guy, you could be not even making $1 million a year. You could be a guy that's only making $200,000 a year, and you could get something like that. I've seen multiple guys do it, so it's definitely possible.
But we talking about these 2023 heifers, man. They goddamn catty. They always at each other. They can't halfway get along. You laying a pipe good to one girl one night, the next night, why ain't I getting piped as much as she getting it? You know what I'm saying? You going through multiple menstrual cycles? Yeah, I ain't got time for that bullshit. These heifers
it depends how traditional they are. Depends how traditional they are.
I guess that's the point. Yeah.
It's 2023. These heifers ain't want to be traditional like that.
Yeah. Purple Pill said something interesting where he said a lot of people can't leverage it. And I think the reason why a lot of people can't leverage it is because it's not a good deal. Like if you think of anything that's a good deal, you can leverage. Anybody can leverage it. If I tell you I'm gonna give you 100 pounds of weed right now, you could leverage that. You could find a way because it's beneficial. So we're talking about trying to leverage something that really is hard to leverage because the value is limited. what you're really getting in this modern day and age is actually a liability and an expense. So it's like, it's not, there's not many ways to make it a good deal. Like, you gotta look at it like this. If getting divorced by one wife could leave me with half of my belongings gone, what the hell is getting divorced by two wives like? Like what will you literally have left after get so if you really compare it, the real best deal is just having multiple women in general, if you're talking about having teammates. And then on top of that, like, if you're not broke, you can hire people. I could hire teammates. If I need somebody to help me clean, I could hire that. If I need somebody to help me cook, I could hire that. Honestly, in this age, if you want to get your dick sucked, you can hire that too, if you want to be real. So I mean, we living in an age where everything can be outsourced. And because all of the things that were traditionally provided in a marriage can be outsourced, it's no longer really a benefit to be married, because that's like a locked in contract versus I could just go on Fiverr and pick and choose what I want as I feel. Like, why would I hire an employee when I can go on Fiverr? Why would I start a taxi company when I could run Uber? Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's no point.
I want to jump in there because can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Like, once again, the world is set up for you to create whatever you want. Like, the thing is, if you think that it's not going to work, it's not going to work. If you think it's not a good deal, it's not a good deal. Like, and half of the problem is most people can't even communicate. You can't even articulate ourselves.
You don't have to hire for you. You don't have to make your wife. Yeah, you don't.
I feel like now we talk about metaphysics and manifestation. Like, I get what you're saying. That's cool and all that. Like, yeah, design your life, create the life you want, will it into existence. That's amazing and all that. We're talking about practicality in real life and things really working. Like, for real people in the real world, whether they're designing and manifesting their life or not, having two wives is going to be a very difficult thing to swing. And it's not a difficult thing to swing because they're somehow not man enough. It's a difficult thing to swing because it's fucking hard. And that's as simple as that.
Let me ask you a question. So do you think that there are women who want that, who want to be in a relationship with a person who has two wives? Do you think that those women exist?
Yes,
I think they exist for sure.
All right. So then the thing is, let's find the
in
people
America,
that want what we want. Let's find the
likely.
people that want the life that we want. The issue is that most people are trying to fit other people into perspectives that they can't see, and they're trying to convince them when there's no point to do it. Like, let's just find the people who actually want it and then be with those people.
Yeah, but even if you find a woman that wants to be married, like, let's say I find two women right now that want to be married and they want to be in this polygamous relationship. Okay, and let's say the law allowed for it, and the law said, you know what, you're in Utah, I'm gonna allow you to marry these two women. We still live in America where the law also says that those two women could divorce my ass. So the laws still change the circumstance. It's like, yeah, it's great that they want to engage, but they're incentivized to do the opposite.
Jones, let me explain something. When you have girls, have you ever had a girl who had burning genuine desire for you? When you have girls who are really down for you, bro, you don't have to marry them. You don't. Like, they'll have kids with you. You
My
know
point
girls
exactly.
have kids with guys, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you're taking this the whole down like a whole nother route. The guy can do this without ever marrying the girls. Like, literally, still have them and have perfect families and everything. You just have to do you have to jump through a bunch of hoops for you to make sure that when you die, you're not fucked and stuff like that. But you can do a bunch of shit to avoid all the marriage issues. And I have tons of girls that come on my podcast every week, and I have a whole speech that I do about how black men are extremely valuable today, and if because I have tons of black women that come on my show, and I always say they're very valuable. If you want one of them, you need to understand you're competing with white women, Hispanic women, Asian women. They're going out of the country. It's very hard to lock down a very attractive or wealthy black man today. And I always tell them, would you accept a relationship with 2 or 3 women, you know, in it? And a lot of them are like, you know what, I would. There's tons of girls that will do it for the right man, but most guys aren't that guy. If you've ever been that guy, or if you know people who are that guy, it doesn't seem that weird. I know plenty of guys that are like that, and it's not that weird because it's very normal today. It's very normal. Girls are accepting it in America a lot today. I have examples of it.
I don't think the argument is if it can be done or not. The argument is if it's beneficial or not. And based off of the argument that you just, but look, based off the argument that you just put forward.
It's to raise a family.
But look, the argument you just put forward. Hold on, let me finish because I was responding to you, right? The argument that you just put forward is that men can make that happen without having to get married. You just said, if you're that dude, right? If a woman likes you, she's down for you. So based off of your argument that a woman's going to be down for you without you having to be married, where's the benefit in the marriage part of it? I could get the same exact thing without the marriage, which is my point.
Let me explain to you. Children.
You can have a
That's
children
all it's
with
for,
someone
is
who's not your wife.
legacy. You have women to have more children. You what do you want a nanny?
I can have
to watch
baby
all your
moms.
children? Do you want to pay a nursery or a nanny? Why would you want that? That's stupid. You want
Because
your
it's
kids to be
cheaper and
raised
it's
that
less.
way?
It's
I'd much
easier
rather
to
we
pay a
all live
nanny.
in one house with 2 or 3 wives, and we're all taking care of them together.
But a nanny
No,
can't
that's
take half
ignorant.
my
That's so
shit.
ignorant. There's a reason why civilizations around the world do it the way that I just explained it, because that is the best way to do it. That's how in all of history they've done it. That's the best way to
Purple
do
pill.
it.
Yeah, these
Purple
chicks are
pill.
not trying to stay home and be watching their own goddamn kids.
So,
They're not trying to
purple
do.
pill.
They trying to live their life. That's what they trying to do. They're not trying
You
to
can find
stay home and
traditional
raise their own
women.
kids.
There's
Most of them
So
are.
traditional
purple.
women today. There's
Hold
traditional
on, y'all.
women today.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get
Traditional women ain't had multiple wives. Ain't
hold on.
People don't know
be
where
okay
to
with
look.
multiple
You
wives.
can
Not the
find these
traditional.
girls.
Gentlemen. Let me get Shannon now. Go ahead, Shannon.
So purple pill. Here's the thing, and I hear what you're saying, right? You're saying that there's a benefit, well, because you and Clout is on the same sheet of music, right? The thing is, purple pill, Clout is using westernized marriage parameters and saying that with that, based on what we got going on, right? See, you mentioned, well, it's working all the way around the world. First thing I thought about was, I remember when I was in Somalia. Well, over there, it's a little different. I remember when I was in Egypt, it's a little different over there. The marriage laws are different in other countries than over here in the Western world. And over here in the Western world, this is what my man Sean was explaining. He's like, yo, the way it's set up over here, it's no tactical advantage to a guy to have paperwork on 4 women. Everything else being true, purple pill, which Cloud is explaining is simply what's my man's name that got 12 kids that we just mentioned?
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon. Yeah.
Nick Cannon. Clout Jones. I mean, Clout is simply purple pill explaining Nick Cannon's situation. Here's a guy that has the means. Here's a guy that wants the legacy. Because your first answer to Clout Jones's question of what's the advantage of just doing the paperwork was children. First thing popped in my mind was Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is able to build his legacy and have his name carried on and watch himself reproduce himself with women without the paperwork. And if there's an understanding between them, and I don't know, I'm sure Nick can pull up to any one of their houses anytime they want, because Nick is here in America, right here in LA, then Nick is saying, I want to do exactly what Purple Pill is talking about, but I want to do it the way Clout Jones is explaining, because doing it that way gives me the leverage that I need so I don't have Uncle Sam all in my business. Now, if you can explain to us, Purple Pill, and I give you the mic, where's the advantage on having Uncle Sam in our business with our wives? Then I'm all ears.
I've said multiple times, don't get married to them. And a woman that really has burning genuine desire for you, you don't have to get married to them. They love you so much, they want to have your kids so bad, you don't have to marry them. I've said that multiple times. Now, if y'all misheard me, I'm sorry. But yeah, I definitely don't think you need to marry these women at all. It's not necessary today. You can set up you can set it up with a lawyer to do a bunch of stuff to where when you die, your family is still okay. You don't have to do the marriage shit. And I push guys to get into politics right now so we can change the laws, so we can fix some of this shit. So we can, this is what's crazy. We're all men and we're all leaders. We need to start pushing men to start doing political things so then we can change this shit. It's not going to help just complaining about it all the time.
So
I'm gonna go to Sean, and then we'll get final thoughts with Humble Dad and Luis. All right.
Yeah, Shannon was just spitting the gospel, but just to kind of just be succinct, Purple Pill, that means that we're pretty much all in agreement, and definitely you and Clout were in agreement. It kind of sounded like you all were dissenting, but you were in agreement.
All right, go ahead, and we'll get final thoughts with Humble Dad and Luis, and then we'll go ahead and continue the next topic. Go ahead, Humble Dad.
Yeah, I think everything that y'all talking about is pretty much from a selfish perspective, for sure. You all do not see the value in marriage because you're selfish. Marriage is and has been designed for people to come together to build a family as it relates to children, to build a legacy. And there's so many stats that show that children blossom or grow better in a 2-parent household. So with it's crazy. I mean, but this is what it is. So I'm gonna just talk about it since that's what y'all talking about. And so you see where we are now in society is that men and women are separate on how to build a productive family. And so as a result, we have men on the panel saying, no, we shouldn't get married. We should just it's cool to be like Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying? When we all know that in order to have a kid to be productive, they have to have both their parents in the household. That's where it works. It's been like that since the beginning of the time. And so I'm not understanding, and it's in other cultures as well. So I'm not understanding how all of a sudden now we need to be just impregnating women. That's what we said. Cloud Jones for sure said why we can't just have baby mamas. That's what he said.
I said we could. I didn't say why.
I'm explaining it. Let me finish. Go ahead.
But you did say that. So, and your stance is that just like everybody, most of the people on the panel is like, I can't have multiple wives. That's what y'all said. But then I can have multiple women and have kids by all of these women. It's basically
if I wanted to have. I was just answering Purple Pill about children. That's the only reason I said that. He was saying that legacy was the reason. I was saying, well, if I wanted a legacy, I could have multiple baby mothers. I'm not saying that I agree or that's what you should do. I'm just saying that that's an option.
But it wouldn't be a legacy. They would be bastard children.
Well, your children aren't your legacy anyway. Your actions are your legacy, not your children.
Humble
your children are your lineage.
I need you, Humble Dad, to come back to Fantasyland with us. The question was a Fantasyland question. Multiple wives. Nobody on the panels downed marriage as you like to paint it the picture for all of us. The way you painted the picture is that we're all up here saying, don't get married. Married ain't shit. We are talking about marrying multiple wives, a bunch of women in the Western world. I know that you won't do it, Humble Dad, because of religious reasons. But we're talking about multiple women. We are not. This is not. Should you get married? JR's question was it. Should you get married to one woman? The question was, would you get married to multiple wives? And you somehow took us out of the fantasy land and brought us back to reality. And then said, well, I don't know why y'all think that, marriage has been working for thousands of years. And all of a sudden, all y'all that are down in marriage and thinking marriage, children need 2-parent households. We wasn't talking about 2-parent. We was talking about 6-parent households. We were talking about 8-parent households, Humble Dad. You know that we were over in Fantasyland. So I don't know why you making it seem like we're all downing marriage, because I think marriage in and of itself is a good thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna add this. Obviously, I think we're all on the same page in terms of that family, marriage, and kids is the cornerstone of our society, right? And sort of strong families build strong communities, and strong communities build strong nations. And sort of if we look inside of our own community and we were able to marry every able-bodied woman with every able-bodied man, I believe there would still be a surplus of women. In sort of how do we view that? Because those women also need prudent, competent husbands as well, something to be attached to in a community. I don't know if that's the solution to everything in terms of just, attaching people to some sort of covenant or community, especially when it comes to legacy and family. I like our hypotheticals are all great, but I think the underlining point that is it's not being strained enough is like, what type of society or condition are we going to lead if we were to be able to get our wish and move and operate this way?
All right. We're going to go ahead and put this one to bed. If you guys just tuned in, welcome to King Talk. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I think we got one super chat came through us from Chike Auto, LLC, $49.99. He's also a member, says, T Mike, Trigger Mike. Don't forget, most men in Niger get married to multiple wives for kids in case some die. Also, most men get married to multiple wives when the first wife gave birth to only girls, because male child is very important in a family and royal household.
100% facts. 100% facts.
You guys already have, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's shout out to the sponsor, Teach Hanley again. Let's go ahead and get into our next topic. We often talk about dating women at a young age. There's a clip I'm gonna play, but she says you date younger because women your age don't want you.
In his 40s, 50s is trying to talk to me. I already know what's going on. Women your age don't fucking like you because something is wrong with you. And because the women your age group don't fuck with you, you gotta go younger. Because the younger girls would think, oh, he's so cool, he thinks I'm mature. But it's all just manipulation.
I totally agree with you. The older guys, I think they really just want to take advantage of younger women.
They do.
Oh my God. There is a simp born every minute. Goodness gracious.
I want to go to let me go to Sean and Hink first, and then go to Mindset after that. Go ahead, Sean. What do you think?
Bro, she sounds like a delusional bird, and he sounds like a goofball Jamal. He sounds like a simp. You know, I'm not even just using these words because they're real words, like real talk. Like if you really think about it, she couldn't give any type of layers or anything to justify that statement. It's literally just a brainless opinion. How do you come to that conclusion? The younger women will think this guy is attractive, but to the women his age, he holds no value. How do you even come to that conclusion? How would she even defend that point? It makes absolutely no sense. We like younger women for lots of reasons. Sometimes, they're more energetic. Sometimes they're not as set in their ways. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'm just not attracted to, somebody who's a grandma. Who the hell knows? Lots of reasons, none of which she mentioned. And the dude, he sounds like a clown. He sounds like he's trying to get at shorty after the show. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
All right, go ahead, brother Hink.
Well, me, I did both. I dated older women as well as younger women, and I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, I don't think dealing with the older women is something about you that it wasn't attractive. It's just, maybe y'all just have two personalities, just wasn't meshing, but you was able to mesh with this younger lady. And there's nothing wrong.
She said that older women don't want you.
That's cool. I may not want her old ass. Fuck that bitch. So I'm gonna keep it moving. But I mean, if this young girl want me, I'm gonna deal with her, and we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna rock it out, do what we need to do. But me, I prefer a older woman. That's just my preference. But to each his own.
Hey, Hank, when you say older woman, how much older?
2 years max. Shit. I mean, yeah, that's not much, but I'm just saying.
He said 2 years.
Yeah, that's it.
That's your peers.
Hell no.
Look, like she's in my same high school class.
I can't.
You might have finished the year before you.
All right, let me go to Mindset. What's your thoughts on this, sir?
Yeah, man. Once again, I think somebody's operating on autopilot. It just sounds like that's not even her thoughts. It sounds like she got that from TV. It sounds like she got that from other people. Let's be original here. This works to both sides of it. Like, honestly, yes, I think men are more in their prime as they get older. So when they're in their prime, they want a woman that's in their prime, right? And a woman typically is in their prime as far as physical looks at a younger age. And then it can be reversed too. Like sometimes younger guys like older women. Like in actuality, I don't believe the age has too much to do with it, even though it does have certain benefits, maturity and things like that. However, I'm going for what I like, man. If I go for what I like, and she's bad, she's young, she's beautiful, she's everything I want, and she's young, then hey, that's just what it is. But I don't think that person was operating from her own actual thoughts. And I think the guy, Sean was correct. I think he was simping to try to get out of it later.
All right, let me go to Luis.
Man, I just wish people were a little bit more honest about, what they really think as opposed to, moving with the crowd. Look, there are benefits to dating younger women, and some of them, those examples, some of the guys have already highlighted, but also too, you're able to teach them something, show them something, right? Take them on trips, have experiences, things like that. Because you always want that sense of freshness and that sense of new. You've done this for the first time together with this person, right? You're able to kind of bring them into your world. You're able to kind of open them up and kind of show them things that they've learned throughout right? Women typically like older men who are experienced, knowledge, educated, well-rounded, well-connected, because they bring them in, usher into a different type of experience that they've not been expressed to. Much older women, typically women like we're talking about that in your peers, you might or might not have that kind of outcome or that kind of experience. So it looks a little bit different, but there are advantages. You have more things in common in terms of maybe music or cultural preferences too. It just depends. It really, really depends. But I think for the most part, I think the latter. I think, most men like younger women because of the vitality that they bring.
All right, let me go to Trigger Mike.
Yeah, I'm echoing exactly what everybody else was saying. Shorty sounded delusional as hell, and they just give anybody a microphone these days to just say whatever they want to. Dude was definitely simping. I mean, the weird part about it, you could see his eagerness to agree with a woman. I need to let women know something right now. When it comes to, I'm trying to develop a lot of hypotheses and theories. When it comes to a man, you have to be very careful when a man over agrees with a woman. When he agrees with women too much, it is not in our nature to do that. More specifically, it's not in our nature to agree with women against other men. So if a woman wants to know what a simp is, that is the definition and the personification of simp. If I even agree with her, I would just I would be quiet. I'd be like, whatever. All right. But I want y'all to pay close attention because I'm going to hit this from a completely different angle. Women are doing this thing now, especially with men like that, where they're trying to fuel their own confirmation bias by hearing it from another man so they can go echo it all places with impunity, right? These women, she will, if you ask her a follow-up question, I wish I was there. How do you feel about share dating AE? What's that, a 30, 40 year difference in age? She's going to freeze up. She's not going to say anything. Women shame men for behaviors they themselves will perform. All right. We have learned now in today's society, when it comes to power and ego, a woman is no different. Women with power behave exactly the same as men with power. We used to call it a man's ego. It is not a man's ego. It's just ego. And it's her ego and a woman's ego that is unsettled with the fact that men have so many options. That's why she wants to call it disgusting. Right? She's just mad that men have options at that age and women don't. And men aren't struggling to find women once they get resources, but women are, right? So it's a smokescreen. I have given myself an assignment to not react to what women say initially because it's always something behind it. And I could clearly see what was behind her message. My mic is muted.
All right. I'm going to go to you, Humble Dad. What are your thoughts? Date a younger woman because women your age don't want you.
Then what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like if the older women don't want me, then why wouldn't I date the younger woman? I mean, it seems like a logical statement. And if the younger woman wants me, why wouldn't I date the younger woman that wants me?
That's a chess move.
You know what I'm saying? So people just say stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she really thought about what she said beyond her saying it personally. And then as far as the guy, I don't think he's ever thought about it, you know what I'm saying, until that moment because of his response. That's just my take. For me, I think an older woman and a younger woman want me, you know what I'm saying, just because I'm that dude, right? And I did have the opportunity to talk to a younger woman. It just wasn't the same because the way that she conversed wasn't how I would want to converse, and my lady, my fiance, now she's a very high thinker, you know what I'm saying, and she's 3 years younger than me, and she's able to keep up with me from an intellectual perspective as opposed to some of the younger women that I've had conversations with. So, but overall, I would say that her statement doesn't make sense because the guy, if nobody wants to date me, why not date the person that wants to date me? And if it's a younger woman, then that's my options. So that's where I would go.
But don't you find it just as interesting that if a younger woman comes out and says, I would like to date an older guy who's more established, who's well to do, nobody ever bats an eye, right? At least our society doesn't bat an eye. But if a man on the flip side who's well to do, well established, and says, I want a younger woman, everybody wants to get on the, beat him with a bat stick, bandwagon, right? So there is a bit of a double standard there, right? It's like like what's good for the goose isn't necessarily good for the gander. And I just think that just comes down to like how much our society has done a complete 180.
Yeah, I definitely think the young lady was delusional. From my experience, younger women and older women like damn near the same things. Like the qualities that younger women find attractive are not very much different than the qualities that older women find attractive. So for her to believe that for some reason, attracting younger women or dating younger women is because you can't attract older women, I would think that's ridiculous. I think that actually the men who are attracting younger women probably also have a lot more success with older women and all women in general, because something about them is just attractive. And when you're attractive as a man, it just is what it is. It permeates through all age groups. So I definitely think young boy was simping for sure. So it seemed like he was trying to get her attention with that answer.
Can I ask you a quick question? Because shout out to Rilla, he's not here, but he always talking about this simp word. Can somebody give me the definition real quick?
It's a goofball that goes and agrees with a woman at all costs. You feel me? Just to carry favor with her. That is absolutely a simp. Whether she's wrong, whether she's right, whether she's being toxic, he's just gonna agree. Yeah, queen. Oh man, queen.
Yeah.
Nah.
So it has two good definitions, one from the dictionary. Look, people say people don't listen to the stuff we talk about. If dictionary.com went and got a definition for simp, people definitely listen to this content all the time. So dictionary.com says simp is a slang insult for men who are seen as too attentive and submissive to women, especially out of a failed hope of winning some entitled, I think it's sex from them. The Urban Dictionary also says, and it's a shorter, succinct definition, it is when a male is overly submissive to a female and gains nothing from it. Ooh, I know too many of those.
It's actually not especially, but it's absolutely. So you got simping and you got pandering. A lot of people always get that mixed up. I'm always correcting people about it. So humble dad, everybody told you the truth. But the one thing that we have to also add is that the simp is looking for something that he's not going to get. The simp is overly nice, doing all the extra work, doing all this stuff because he's hoping, and it's typically to get sex. He's hoping to get something for his efforts. That is the simp that just does too much for women and praying that one day she'll fucking see me. The panderer does it just because. The panderer, different than a simp, will go the extra mile, is the white knight, is out there saving motherfuckers, is wearing a cape. He not necessarily looking to fuck. He's just doing it just because. So that's the difference between a simp and a panderer, everybody. The simp wants something that he ain't gonna ever get. The panderer is even worse, in my opinion. He's doing the shit just be fucking cuz.
I would want to add to that. I would say that the panderer, I think the panderer actually does do it for a reason, but I think the panderer is doing it to get a better social outlook. Like I feel like the panderer says what they says so that women will see them as a good man or as a kind man or as some type of high status man.
Or like Derek Jackson. So by that
I would
Derek Jackson
would
would be a panderer.
I would agree with it because the one thing I tell women all the time is like, y'all love simps and you love to use them for your confirmation bias, but they do not seem to realize that these men would not be here if there was not a benefit for them in it.
A lot of times people don't like. So I like to call it an unequal exchange of value. So what it does is it fucks those women up like you're talking about, Trigger Mike, because once they get all this value and they don't deserve it, that's what gets their head all fucking big. So a simp is just anybody who's giving too much. He has a very unequal exchange of value. He's giving a lot of free shit, a lot of fucking attention, a lot of text messages, a lot of likes on their pictures. He's just simping. To me can be as simple as liking a girl's picture. Like that's how it's that simple to me. And to me, a simp is somebody that hasn't learned about tricking yet. To me, a simp is a guy who spent a lot of money trying to do all this stuff to get a girl to love him, to have sex with him and all this stuff. And sooner or later, they're gonna learn, oh, I can just spend $300 and be a fucking trick and fuck the girl. Like, but simps to me, like simping is just an unequal exchange of value. And a real man stands in his frame and never does that shit and never simps because the women are chasing him. He never simps because he's never doing unequal exchanges of value.
God damn.
A simp is very beneficial, though, man. A simp is very beneficial. To me, a simp is very beneficial. We need simps. So that lets us know further what type of woman we need to deal with. If she's down with a simp, if she's okay with a simp and she surrounds herself with simp, don't deal with that heifer. You keep it moving. Now it makes it a lot more easy to filter them out.
Hey, Purple Pill. You said that liking the girl's picture is simping, bro?
Yeah, dude, I consider giving any type of value to a woman, which is giving any type of attention. Your money, energy, attention, and time, your me, don't give it to women at all. I don't think any of them deserve it unless it's my fucking actual girl. I don't believe in giving them any type of value. It's all simping to me.
Hey man, keep that.
I'm very valuable. I'm worth a lot. So if you get anything from me, it's worth way more because I never give it out.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you, man. Jay, I gotta pull out the stop the cap, Joe. You ain't never told a woman she was attractive, bro. You've never complimented a woman, because I would liken that to liking a picture.
Of course, I've simped before. I know all about simping because I've been a simp before. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've never been a simp before. The reason why I'm so much against it now is because I used to be a big simp, and I know what it looks like more than anybody because I've been there before.
I think there's an overcompensation. I think this always happens with things, right? Like everybody that calls Russell Wilson a simp. You know what I mean? Like I think that sometimes we really just take it too far, bro. You know
How many times have you?
Nah, Russell's a simp, bro.
I always ask girls this all the time on my show. I always ask, how many times has a guy liked y'all's picture, and when y'all saw him do it, y'all thought, oh, I can't wait to have sex with that guy. They never do. It doesn't turn them on. There's nothing about liking a girl's picture that turns them on. If anything, not giving them attention makes them want you more. So there's no point in it. There's no benefit.
I'll tell you why that logic can be faulty, right? Because how many times do people get knocked out from a jab? A jab is a setup. It's a measuring tool. You know what I'm saying? You don't get knocked out from that jab. I'm setting you up for this right cross. You feel me? It's no more than a jab. It's no
I can
more
understand
than a
if you're
jab.
like following the girl and she likes your picture, so you like hers back or something like that. There's definitely little games you might play with the likes sometimes that are like exceptions, but for the most part, I don't like girls' pictures because there's no point in doing it. I'm giving out value and getting nothing in return. And that's just what I don't do that. I don't do unequal exchanges of value.
Hey, I don't know how your jabs work, but shit, they land me in them buns, bro. I don't know about you.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I'm the type where like I'm very picky. I only fuck with like a certain level of girl, like over like a certain amount. And those type of girls, bro. Yeah, likes don't fucking mean anything to them because
wait, do I look like I fuck with boogers, bro?
Not at all. I'm just saying that
I've been that dude for a very long time.
A lot of guys brag though about girls they get sometimes, and then I look at the girls they're fucking, and they might be whales or something. I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying I've seen it happen a lot. That's all I'm saying.
I kind of agree with Purple Pill a little bit. Like if we're not already communicating, if we're not already exchanging, you ain't like my pictures or you ain't follow me, I'm not following you. I'm not liking no pictures. Like if you follow me and you like my pictures, I like something back. I'll follow back, maybe. Yeah. But honestly, 90% of the women that follow me, I don't follow back because I'm like, for what? You can follow me. I don't need to follow you. I don't need to like shit. Like, what am I giving you attention for? So I kind of feel what Purple Pill talking about. But at the same time, what Sean's saying is like, obviously, I'm gonna give a woman a compliment, but giving a woman a compliment in person when we're already engaging is very different than me just seeing a random girl on IG and liking her pic. I'm a slide in a DM before I like a pic, personally, me.
Yeah, that's why I'm a bit stuck on the liking the pic one. So I'm gonna take it. So I see what you're saying, because I really like your expression about unequal exchange of value. But I don't think that's what liking a pic does. That's what what is it called? Repost in the DM does to me. I think taking it to that extreme when you're doing it Where if you have a feeling of genuine interest and you do that double tap and keep scrolling, I don't think that's simple. When you want to take it where you have no chance with this woman, but you want to take it to the extreme, listen, there's somebody on YouTube right now where I'm like, I only follow this dude to see how bad he consents for black women. Like, I only follow to see how many reposts he does on female YouTubers and Queen and the black woman is God, stuff like that. That is a simp. He's never going to get that reciprocated to him. And he's taking it to the 10th level, like somebody said, to get that love in return, like that he thinks he's getting that love in return. So I think that is 100% an unequal exchange of value.
Who is that person, Trigger Mike, that you follow? Who is that person?
You talking about the simp guy, the guy that calls himself the simp guy?
I can't even, like, I literally just watched like how many people go repost today. Like, God damn. Like,
yeah, like so.
Yeah.
So I understand where Sean coming from, and I also understand where Purple Pill coming from too. I think Purple Pill is coming from the damage that social media has done. See, I don't want to even contribute to her dopamine hit. You know what I'm saying? And so when you contribute to that like, when you add another like, when you make that number go up by one more, especially on Instagram, social media, right? And that like for her is almost, especially when she's taking a attention hungry pic. I mean, I'm not talking about her looking cool and just taking a picture with her cousin, or she's out with family and I'm talking about those thirsty, got them turned around and they looking over their shoulder type fucking photos and stuff. That attention hungry photo, for me to add to that dopamine hit, to me seems, I know what you guys are saying. What is it? Just all you're doing is using your finger and hitting the button and tapping your screen. But it's so much more than that to me. And I don't want to be the one to contribute to her dopamine hit. And so I'm not really quick to like a whole bunch of photos. Even though I like what I see, I ain't really trying to add to that, because if you go beyond the likes and then you look at the comments of that photo, you see a whole lot of simps and panders. And they be in there fucking the game up, calling her Queen Mother Earth and you so bad and where's your man and I'll drink your bath water, and they writing all that bullshit in there, and she's sitting back just gloating on that in her house all by herself with her cats. Ain't nobody checking for her in her own city, but because she hit them angles and added that filter and did all that special fucking tweaking in Photoshop and posted it up, she's sitting there saying yeah, and it's really damaging her, and I don't want to add to her damage and shit.
So how is that different from like dudes that be smashing chicks that they not gonna have to be anything other than a girl? I mean,
not much different at all.
So why would that be simping? Like dudes who have sex with women and
because they're getting something out of it.
It's not an unequal.
But what I'm saying, thank you for letting me talk. I appreciate that. I have not interrupted you. All right. So what I'm saying is that you having sex with women, right? But you don't plan on being their husband, right? So you think, well, women operate from the position of, if a dude has sex with me and he's a nice looking dude, then I must be a nice looking chick, right? So you have devalued her mentally perspective because she's not an 8 or a 9, but you smashing anyway, right? So you're just much of a simp as the dude that likes a pic, because you're giving value to a woman. She may be beautiful, but you're not going to give her a like because you don't want to give her value. But you smash a chick that's not that good looking, right? Or that you're not going to even marry. You know what I'm saying? So you're also devaluing the woman.
Yes, you are. You are devaluing. That's why I feel the onus is on women. They're the gatekeepers. They should close their legs. But that's not a simp, though. He's getting something out of it. And he's getting exactly what he wanted out of it. He may not be giving her what she wants out of it, which is the relationship, marriage, and all that kind of stuff. He's gotten, to him, a win is a win. And so if he's getting what he wants, then fine. The simp, where you ask the question on what the definition of a simp is, he doesn't get what he wants out of it. He's looking to get it, but he don't get it. Even doesn't matter what he does. Doesn't matter what fences he jumps over for her, what lengths he goes to make sure she's happy. He doesn't get what he wants. The guy that you just described, he's getting what he actually wants. And that's the difference between him, the asshole the guy that the pookie, the dude that's devaluing her. Everything else you said is 100% accurate. It's just that the only thing is he's not necessarily a simp. That's all,
bro.
Now,
how do y'all meet women then? If y'all don't like pictures, y'all know you can't compliment. How on earth?
Oh no, that's not
me.
me.
I'm saying for
I'll
everybody that says you can't like the picture, bro. What do? You just stand there and let them come in
person.
I'll explain to you. So there's something called
so
there's something called social circle game that shout out to Michael Sartain. He talks about a lot. Dr. David Buss talks about pre-selection a lot, and that's just where women like to be with men that have women around them because it shows that you're safe. Pre-selection just shows that you're a safe bet. So if you're just the type of guy where you're always around women all the time, if you're in a good social circle of women, you're always going to have women coming to you. Dan Bilzerian wrote about this in his book that he just released. And he talks a lot about how you don't have to go cold approach. You don't have to DM 1,000 girls. You don't have to do anything. Women come to you if you use social circle correctly and you do everything. This is what I've used my entire life. My whole method that I teach is based around social circle game and not ever chasing girls and girls walking to you, coming into your frame, which is the correct kind of relationships you should be having. You should never chase a girl. Women should be chasing men. The guys that women love the most, they chased every time. So if you're chasing women, you're making a huge mistake. It's almost every time you're chasing a girl, you're simping. Almost every time.
See, I don't disagree with any of that, but the point is that liking a picture is not chasing. That's a giant
to exchange value. It's trying to exchange value.
JR
You're like
post things that I like, bro. That's not. The point of the matter is, right? So if I see a woman, right, she's on Instagram, she's in Houston, I'm in Dallas. So there's no way that I'm not going to bump into her. She's not going to see my social circle, right? Sometimes you have to put yourself in a position to be seen. Now that may be literally a simple like. I mean, a thoughtless like. I flicked my thumb, I hit like, and I kept going. I didn't think twice about it. I didn't simp. I didn't say, "Oh my God, Queen, you're great." I didn't go in her DMs or nothing. She's addicted to those likes. She saw my name. She went to my profile. She's like, "Oh man, let me follow him." Straight like that. A very simple, mindless thing. You can't convince me that's simping.
I want to say different folks, right? Like in reality, like we argued about perspective. Your perspective is your perspective. The way that you get women is the way that you get women. The way that somebody else get women is the way they get women. But one thing that remains the same is that most people forgotten that the man is the prize. See, that you think the woman is the prize, so they start doing weird stuff. Understand who you are. Like what Purple was saying is like, yo, you get around the right people, you put yourself as that star of your movie, girls coming to you like that. But that's your position of power. See, understanding your position of power, you don't have to worry about likes. You don't have to worry about any of that. You just simply exist and people come into your existence. Now, the issue is, once again, we've forgotten that we are the prize. So we watch TV, whatever you tune into, you turn into. So most people come out, they want to be the rappers, they want to be the person who is wearing the chains, they want to look like something versus being who they are, right? Because most people care about having, but in reality, it's about who you are being. So the person that you are being creates everything that's in existence. So for me, it's not about the like, it's not about any of that. It's about, hey, whatever you want, you go out there and create. So now for you, Sean, you can hit chicks up on Instagram or any other social media. That's no issue. But don't forget that you are the star of your movie. That's just like, that goes for all of us here.
Oh, no. I don't need to do none of that, right? But I'm just saying, like, anytime I felt compelled to do so, I can do it, right? I've always had an abundance, and I've always been that nigga. Check my resume, right? So anything y'all talking about, I've had hundreds of beautiful women, right? That's nothing, right? So this don't apply to nothing that Sean needs, right? I'm just saying, just in general, that the premise that y'all saying doesn't make sense to me.
So you're essentially using IG as sort of your filter, right? Your IG, you've curated your life, your lifestyle, and women see that. Versus the example that Purple Pill is like having those social circle. That in itself, it's like IG, but in real life, because there's actually people around you who gravitate towards you, who already have that sort of that filter that he was talking about.
Because, oh no, not me. I have the circle too, so I don't. I can't identify with none of that. I just said I've always been that nigga, my nigga. So I've always had that. So
not to say you don't have a social circle. I was just kind of comparing and contrasting how you both were approaching it.
Nah, and so my thing is, right, if we really push hard enough in this conversation, we could prove that the premise that you all are asserting in terms of not liking, you do some version of that in life by providing validation to a woman in real life, in which case to me, you don't believe in that premise. You're just arguing against doing it on social media. If you sent a woman a drink, if you bought a woman a drink, then it's the same exact premise, in which case you should just stop saying what you're saying on the internet.
Well, I guess I'm not a simp, but I definitely met my fiance on social media. But I didn't go. My situation is that I posted something and she responded, and so I responded back to her.
Oh, so you that dude then? You just that dude then?
I told you that.
No, Sean, I would say if you have a great Instagram, like some guys have amazing Instagrams, and you might be that guy. Like you might be a certain height, you might have a certain look. You're that guy, like you're saying, dude. Of course, you can just go like girl's picture. She's gonna follow you, and she's instantly gonna hit you up. I totally agree with your game. You can totally do stuff like that. I'm saying for a majority of guys, though, I have guys that are 5'6", 5'7" that can do social circle game and get fucking 9s and 10 girls. So like you can definitely use both things, you know. But yours takes a lot of work building up. Sometimes it takes time getting the pictures and doing all the stuff correctly and stuff. It just depends if somebody has the time to do all that. But no, I definitely think it's one of those things where two things can be right, you know.
I feel you for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad to put a name to this. That social circle game thing, that literally I've played that game my whole freaking life, right? So it's funny. I never knew what it was called because I don't code the pro. I literally can't do it. I'm retarded, right? I've watched dudes do that better than me my whole life. And I had a friend, you know how you model yourself after somebody? I had a friend named Malachi in eighth grade. What this dude would do, because he was short, just like you said, super short. He was just the funniest dude, Kevin Hart short, right? He would go up to the girl, and next thing you know, you just looking. I'm sitting there taking notes. All these girls are laughing at him, you know, but not like, you know, his jokes. He like touching one, and you can see the looks. They're starting to get closer to him. Be like, oh, he's so funny, paying them compliments. And I'm like, oh, this is how you play the game. Surround yourself with women. And literally now they're competing. You can see them competing for his attention and all that. I started playing that game all through high school. I'm gonna teach my son the same thing. You never in your life chase a woman. Never. Yeah. Find a way to make her come to you. I like meeting women. That's what I call organically, right? You get into the social circle. You don't pay her too much attention. You might throw one little thing that maybe you're interested in, and then let it simmer from there. If she don't give you any choosing signals, she not the one. Move on to somebody else. Never chase a woman. So I 100% agree with that.
Well, I guess I'm too old goddamn fashioned then, man, because that ain't shit. I believe in having a good conversation with her. I don't give a damn about liking a goddamn picture on Instagram. Matter of fact, I'm using Instagram as a way to investigate her ass. I won't even deal with her ass. She might be the fucking Instagram hoe for all I know, but that's what I'm using that IG for.
Hello, motherfucker.
I want to have a good conversation over a cup of coffee or something.
Anybody else want
to? These women are not doing coffee.
Yeah, JR, let me to the video. to the video you played. I think we're all on the same sheet of music, but I wanted to add something, JR. Lewis, you said it's a crazy double standard. You know, when older men want a younger woman, it's creepy, but when women want an older guy, it's nobody they do give pushback, Lewis. They absolutely do. The problem is women can do no wrong. And because it's more important currently for women to do no wrong than for women to be corrected for what they want, that's why it overshadows it and it looks like a double standard. But there's two demographics that have beef with older men dating younger women. Remember, I'm 50 and I'm 50 years old and I date younger women. And the two demographics is older women and younger men. And I'm sure you guys can all imagine why older women have beef with older men dating younger women, and why younger men have beef with older men dating younger women. But here's what is important. This is what I want to mention. The 5 F's: fit, feminine, friendly, faithful, fun. All men, all heterosexual men on the planet want a woman that's those 5 things. That's one of the all, not some situations. All, not some, want fit, feminine, friendly, faithful, and fun. If they can build a woman, if every man can build a woman in his head, that's what she'd be. The thing is, and what the guy didn't think, what the guy did think about that, because he's the younger guy that thinks it's weird because, you know, he has competition. The older women think it's weird because it's competition. But this was a young girl that said that. It was a young chick that was like, you know what? I think it's weird because guys, I wish she could check my DM. I wish she could see Sean's DMs. I wish she could check Hink's DMs or Humble Dad's to see that that's bullshit. That's absolutely not true. The 5 F's that I mentioned, and this is what's important. Men will date any age. All men will date women of all ages if they were the 5 F's. The problem is we think about probability instead of possibility. What's the probability of a 48-year-old woman being fit, being feminine, being friendly, faithful, and fun, versus a 28-year-old woman being fit, being feminine, being friendly, cooperative, understanding, listening when a brother's giving some game or giving some instruction to his girl, faithful and fun? Because the odds are that men typically find younger women that encompass those 5 F's versus the 48-year-old woman who's that software doesn't take any new updates. That's what ends up happening. It has nothing to do with older women not wanting older men. If she can only, I'm 50 years old. If she can only, I graduated high school in 89. If she can only see my classmates that are still single today, the 50-year-old women around my age, she wouldn't be saying that. I just wanted to hit him with that.
Well, then the question would be, this is what I would ask her. Why wouldn't an older woman want an older man? Like, why wouldn't a 50-year-old woman want a 50-year-old man? Because she's saying, well, they don't want you, so you're going to date the younger woman. Then what do I supposed to do? Right? You know what I'm saying? So, and I agree, Shannon.
The argument is for older men. First of all, you know, who's gonna give me my insulin shot? And you know, I can't get it up. I can't even fuck no more. And I'm tired and my back hurt all the time. And my balls are sacked. All these, that's all the tropes that people put out there. And that's why it's important for shows like King Talk to talk to young men to make sure that they're staying fit. Because Father Time is on our side. If you utilize everything, there is literally a fountain of youth. If you utilize all the things that's given to men, all men, and I'm saying this for every guy that you see that's older, that's kind of just out of shape, it's just because he just don't give a fuck no more. But you got women who are really, really trying, and the shit just ain't working for them, bro. But if guys really, really try, they can get their shit together. And that's just listen. I didn't make the rules. I'm just playing by them. And so,
yes, sir.
The argument is, well, you know, the reason why the older women don't like the older dudes is because them dudes is they farting all night, they snore, they scratching, they don't keep themselves
but
up.
If that's the case, why would a younger woman want him?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I said the statement doesn't make any
nonsensical
sense. Because every woman, like I think Big Cloud Jones said it, like women pretty much across the board have the same criteria of a dope dude. Right? That was a kind of survey on Tinder where I think 10% of the women swipe right. So they really like the same guys. No, it's not dependent upon age. So therefore, all the women like the same guy. It's not about the age of the guy. It's just that there's more competition. And like you said, Shannon, most people in general, men or women, don't really like competition.
That's more like 5%, Humble Dad.
All right. Guys, just tuning in. Welcome to King Talk. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor again, Teach Hanley. There are a few super chats that came through. Dub Wills, 499 also member says salute King Talk. Salute to you, sir. Aubrey of the house, $5 says shout out to PPP and Sergio for all the hard work. Dub Will 189 also a member says simp equals suckers idolizing mediocrity. Check Auto LLC 1999 also member says, where I'm from, most men are older than your wife with at least 10 years minimum. If you are 30 and above, we are passing you to our uncles / widow uncles and our widow fathers. Even the divorced men don't want older women. I want to say thank you to the people that have sent them super chats and donated. Salute to you. Now it's time to get to the meat of the conversation that we know the ladies like to meet. Ow. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into the main topic. You seen it on the thumbnail. Here we go. Women don't generally care about you up front. Did you guys agree to that? Let me start off before I play this clip. True statement? Yeah. Shane with the heart. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Humble Dad, what you thinking?
I would say that's yes. I asked this question last night on my show. It's crazy.
Okay. Okay, so women don't generally care. What about you, Mindset Mogul?
Yeah, I don't know. My answer is I don't know. I don't know what they think.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip, and I'm gonna get to Humble Dad and Mindset Mogul first. All right, here we go.
In his 40s, 50s is trying to talk to
Wrong one. Played that one already. My bad. Struggle streaming over here. Struggle streaming. Here we go. The clip right here.
Reality for us men. Women don't genuinely care about you up front. Answer this. When did she start respecting you? Was it at the beginning when y'all first met, the middle, or when she seen you had yourself in order? If you have a top 5 priority list, make sure them first 4 slots is you. Those first 4 priorities should be your purpose, your finances, your health, and your respect. Because at any given moment, that woman can switch up and put her feelings first. She how you playing a question game, asking yourself where you went wrong. I can tell you, them first priority slots you had when you met her, you slacked up on them. Don't ever do that. Keep them priorities right there and she'll respect you more. Just make her one of those priorities, but not the priority.
All right, Humble Dad, go ahead and dive into it. She don't care about you up front.
Yes. The question that I asked to the wives on the panel, the women on the panel last night was, what was your first impression of your spouse? And the general statement was, I thought he was weird. I didn't know why he wanted to talk to me. I thought what? You know what I'm saying? That's the initial that was the initial response, right? And so they don't care about you because they don't see what your value is in the beginning. It's a matter of you have to give all of this information to them for them to see if they can fit in your life or you can fit in theirs. And so instead of kind of having themselves be open to a conversation, they've already kind of diagnosed you from what it is that they've seen. So if they feel like they're attracted to you, then you're going to have a different, there's going to be a different level of what they're going to accept from you off top. I mean, we've heard women say, well, I already know within the first, 5 seconds if I want to sleep with the dude, or 10 seconds, whatever the case may be. So even up front, they haven't even given you a chance. So therefore, I would say that they don't really care about you genuinely up front in the beginning.
Okay. Mindset Mogul, what are your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I'm thinking Humble Dad is like spot on because most women, they're looking for reasons to like you or dislike you. And for the most part, which is ironic, which is weird, but most women, they don't really get to choose the man that they truly want because they don't approach the guy. They choose based upon the men that approach them. So their approach on dating is a little bit different. So they are looking and watching to see why should I even give this person a chance. So I think for a fact, it depends. It depends on the situation. But I think most of the time, most women, they really just don't care about the guy. They just want to see, what benefit that they.
All right, I'm going to go to Luis and then Clout. What are your thoughts, sir? Women don't generally care about you up front.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that women genuinely care about you up front. Not at first. I think what Mindset was trying to allude to as well was that women try to disqualify men and men try to qualify women. You know, always trying to find a reason. Okay, like he's not short, he's not tall enough, he's not this or that, without even really having the opportunity to get to know this person, who they are, what are their values, their virtues, etc. Right. So there's always that. Okay, they're trying to disqualify you before you've even gotten an opportunity to open up and get to know who this person actually is. Right. You're kind of judging the book by its cover. And in doing that, what some would do, once they sit down, they'll try to, depending on the woman too, some will try to kind of ruin the evening or the conversation, right? If they're genuinely not into you because you already missed those markers. But the ones who are more open and more receptive and more malleable, they'll listen. And those things that they find to be more favorable, those will slowly start to sleep back because of the simple fact that if she genuinely likes you and vibing with you, and you're having good conversation, and it's just like the chemistry is there, those things could take a back seat. But I mean, up front, they genuinely don't care because they're trying to assess. They're trying to assess where could this potentially go, right? And they don't know that, and sort of they don't feel that they have to invest anything. They just need to show up. But you, as the man, you have to set up the date. You have to set up the experience. You have to, pretty much curate this entire, date process, right? Because it's on you. But for her, she just shows up, and if you qualify, you qualify. If you don't, you don't.
Lewis, how does that go again? You said men try to disqualify women and women qualify men?
Men try to qualify women while women try to disqualify men.
Oh, I had it backwards. Okay.
Yeah, women try to disqualify men and men try to qualify women, right? Because when we ask questions and we have these conversations on here about vetting women, about, what is their, background, what is their upbringing, what are their thoughts and views around marriage, kids, and things like that. We're trying to qualify this woman. Does this woman align with me? Does she see things from the perspective, and is this woman malleable? Women are not necessarily doing those things right up front. You know what I'm saying? And that goes to kind of the question. Women don't genuinely care about you up front, right? It takes time and a while, especially in their head. You know what I'm saying? We fall in love or fall in interest through our eyes and up front. That happens for women in hindsight through the process of dating and getting to know you, right? It's the little things that kind of build up for her to get to that point.
But based on your response, though, wouldn't the woman already have disqualified you from the jump? So then she's trying to qualify.
I thought it was. It seems flip actually. Okay. But go ahead. Go ahead.
That's why I kind of wanted to add to that. But humble that you were adding.
I'm good. If you're gonna say what I'm thinking, you can go ahead and go.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I really think it's contingent upon, it depends on if you chose the woman or if the woman chose you. I think that in any circumstance where you choose the woman, I think that she absolutely will not care about you at all in that initial situation because you're the one who chose her. So now you're already in a position where you have to convince her, right? Now, this what's rare though that we overlook is that there are many cases where women choose men, and when a woman chooses a man, she cares from the beginning. When a woman chooses a man, there's nothing that man can ask her from the beginning that she's not going to do when she's the one who made that choice. So it's like, so a lot of times, for example, men are thinking that they finessed the woman into bed, not realizing that woman decided a week ago she was going to fuck you. She saw you come into the coffee shop a week ago. She peeped that you worked at Coldwell Banker. And, she came in there acting like she was just looking for some information. She did all that because she wanted to fuck you. So I feel like I feel like it's 100% contingent on who makes the choice. When a woman makes the choice, she's all in. When a man makes the choice, she's not going to be all in.
Clout, but wouldn't that woman that chose him had already done her homework on him, had already figured him out, had already did all the background check in her mind, whether she Googled his name or checked out his Instagram and did all of that shit or heard him talking on the podcast enough times.
If a woman's doing research on you, she already chose. That's the way I look at it. Like if she's doing research on you, yeah.
But that's my point. So that's not necessarily upfront. Because when I hear upfront, I'm thinking almost like in the early stages or right away without somebody knowing pretty much anything about the other person.
Well, look at this. I mean, it is upfront because she cares enough to be researching you. You know what I'm saying? She cares. She's taking time out her day to be looking you up and finding out what's going on with you. So she already chose you. Ain't nothing you could say. The only thing you could do at this point is mess it up. But if you say keep the conversation simple, let her talk, it's already a done deal. She already decided what's going to happen. You just gotta let it happen. Allow it to happen. Don't fuck it up.
I got you, big dog.
Yeah.
I think women care about your utility in the beginning. I think they care about your value proposition. They care about what they can get from the situation, whether that's clout, whether they just want some high quality penis. You know what I'm saying? Whether they want to be connected whether they want to be connected to a dude that they feel like is that nigga, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a social proof to their friends or whatever, for validation, whatever the case may be. They care about what they can get out of the situation in the beginning. And I'm not even saying they're wrong, but they don't give a shit about you in the beginning, and they shouldn't. I would think it would be weird if you cared about me. That kind of scares me away. So yeah, they care about what your value proposition is.
All right. Purple Pill, you chimed in. Go ahead, Shan. See, came off the mic.
Yeah.
No, what have you done for me lately? Fucking Janet Jackson song and shit. That's a staple. That's an anthem for a lot of women.
No, I would definitely kind of say what Clout was saying. That's why I was kind of saving up. It depends what kind of women y'all are getting. If you're getting if the woman is coming through, like if you're chasing the woman, yes, then nothing up front. But there are women that will they're animals today. They will throw themselves at a guy like just because they like really, really have such burning genuine desire for them without even knowing what kind of car he drives, without knowing all types of shit. Sometimes women can be really down for a guy just based off of their looks. And I would argue like a girl that has really low bodies, like she's really young, you can definitely get more of this stuff more up front because she hasn't experienced as much. She's not as alpha widowed in different things. So it's really just about what kind of girls you're dealing with. But there's definitely some girls where it doesn't matter up front.
What is alpha widow?
Alpha widowed is whenever she's just been with a guy before that was just so amazing that she can't stop thinking about him. Like you'll see it on video sometimes where a girl's complaining about how she can't get over a certain guy. It's because she's alpha widowed by him. He was such a badass. He had so much money. Maybe she traveled with him to certain places. He had such a lifestyle that she can't replicate from other men that she's alpha widowed by him. Or there's some guys with just such a good dick game. They've been alpha widowed. You can also be alpha widowed by categories. Like a girl that's been with like 20 dudes, she might be alpha widowed by one guy's sex game. One guy was the best kickster. One guy was the best for experiences. And then like there's also alpha widow in the sense that like say like she has 15 bodies, but every one of the guys was under 5'9". You could technically be her new alpha if you're 6 foot tall because she never had sex with a guy that was over 5'9". So like it's just like but say like a girl's like a model and she's been with 5 dudes before, but each one of them were 6'4" basketball players. You're gonna have a hard time like beating that alpha. That's just how I kind of see alpha widow, I guess.
Alpha widow. It seems like it almost seems like once a woman has experiences like high or this level of experience,
an amazing motherfucker. How many of you fellas alpha widow these? How many of you fellas alpha widow these women out here, man? I know y'all out here alpha widowing these women. They all thinking about you when they with their man right now. Y'all cold blood. Y'all some cold alpha. Y'all.
No.
You dead to her. She's dead to you.
Well, so alphas can always change though. Like that, like you need to always don't think that like a woman's stuck all the time because they can always change to like a new alpha. It happens all the time. It's not like really hard for a girl to forget the old guy sometimes. It just depends.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing about it. Like women, but see, this is the thing about it. Women date up; they don't date down. And sort of for her to go and experience, constant, fine wine and dining, and then also trips and bags and all this type of over the top experience, and then go date a regular dude, you know what I'm saying, for her neighborhood, she feels like she took it out. You know what I'm saying? I would think that a lot of women in that situation will feel like they taking an L. So they're not going. This is her new standard, but her new standard isn't conditioned on her improvement in any way, shape, or form, whether looks, whether beauty, any of that. It's just that there was somebody at that particular time who had exposed her to all this amazing things that he did, and he's probably doing that for 2, 3, 4 other women, and she just happened to be thinking that she was the one. But in reality, once that rug was pulled underneath her feet and had that such amazing experience, she can't get over that, because now she's thinking like, this is really my lane. These other guys who are within my social class, within my neighborhood, within my proximity, these are more in my lane. But she wants those guys to be like that guy, not understanding that those guys are not built the way that that guy who gave you that amazing experience is going to be. It just doesn't translate that way.
Yeah, so you amazing dudes out there, you with great power comes great responsibility, because you can alpha widow these chicks, you can take her on trips, and you can give her an experience that she don't even probably deserve or never get or come close to for years. And because you gave her that, and now these other guys that she probably qualifies for is trying to holler at her, she's saying fuck them because she's looking for somebody like you. You took her, you put her on the yacht, you took her to that yacht party, and now she only fucks with motherfuckers that can potentially take her to a yacht party. You fellas, great power comes great responsibility.
Lou, I want to disagree with
all you gotta do is make her come.
I want to respectfully disagree with
That's it.
Most men don't make women come.
Major fact.
Lou, you said that women date up. Just want to respectfully disagree with that. I think the baddest women date up, the women who can date up. But most women, they're not dating up. They don't have the ability to. Now, whatever up is, a nigga might smash her once or twice, but that ain't dating. You feel me? They want to date up. They aspire to. I mean, which of course it's the same for men. We all want the bad chicks, but you take what you qualify for. You feel me? But I think, the bad chicks date up. The other ones, they date what they can. And I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I just think that's the case.
Yeah, I think it's that's kind of a more truer statement. I would say sometimes even parallel, or maybe a step down. But I think there is some sort of compromise at some point. I mean, people are gonna get whatever they can.
All right. Go ahead, Perfect.
It kind of depends, like what we're trying to define as like dating, I guess. But like you got to understand, the girl still gets her dopamine rush just getting to fuck that top guy. So even the girls that are 30, 35, even overweight girls, they're still getting opportunities that are like what he's saying. They're dating up. They're not getting what you're like you're right, Sean. They're not getting relationships at all. They're not getting rings. They're not getting like what they really want. They're not getting locked down. Yeah. They're fucking up. That's the best way to put it for sure. But yeah, women definitely fuck up. But a lot of women are staying doing that because, like you were saying, once you're alpha widowed, you can't ever go back. How could you go back to the normie?
Yeah, but there lies the problem. A lot of women, unfortunately, in those situations, cannot discern between sexual attraction and relationship attraction. This person is sexually attracted to me versus this person wants to actually get to know me, invest in me, court me, take me out, and build and create a relationship out of this versus the dude who's giving you a call right around this time, 12:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hell yeah.
Finding out what are you doing, what I'm saying, and are you up, and are you available, and can they slide through? If you're getting more text messages in the late hours of the night versus early in the morning and getting cash app for lunch, he is not into you, man. You are just a placeholder at that point. You need to understand that he has more of a sexual attraction to you than seeing you from a relationship attraction standpoint.
But as he should, though. Now, let me say this. Man, I say it all the time. These women don't give a goddamn about your black asses. They don't give a god shit about you. You a goddamn clutch purse. That's what the fuck y'all are. A bunch of clutch purses. She don't find you as a somebody she needs. She wants you, but she don't feel like she needs you. So she gonna use you when she go out to the club like a clutch purse, knowing she needs that big bag so she can carry everything she really needs in it. But you're not that. You're a clutch purse. So guys, just accept it as is. But let me say this. If this woman always wanted me for that, then treat her as such. Treat her as the hoe she is. Give her a goddamn good 20 minutes and send her out with a goddamn lifesaver. Fuck her ass.
Hell yeah.
Get moving, man. I'm not tricking on these heifers. Why the hell should I spend a dime on these heifers? They don't deserve my resources.
Listen, I also want to add to that, man. Like, women are going to care about you as much as you care about yourself. You know, like, I feel like their barometer of how to value you is going to be like, yo, how does this man value himself? Does he put on something fly every day when he go out, take care of himself, keep himself looking good, smelling good? And you know, does he eat good? Does he, you know what I mean? Does he spend time to read? Like, when they see you doing stuff like that and they see you valuing yourself, that helps to increase the way they value you, because they don't know how to value independently. They got to see how you value yourself. So when you're chasing them, they look at you like, damn, this nigga's chasing me. Like, he can't have no value. You know what I'm saying? But when they see you not chasing, she's looking at him like, wow, this nigga's not, hasn't even looked at me. He's focused on what he's doing. This nigga got some value. I got to go see what he's doing. So, you know, value yourselves and all will come.
All right. Anybody else want to get final thoughts? Final thoughts going once, going twice. Man, Mogul. Man, say Mogul, you good? You don't mute you, so you know.
Guys need to start realizing they're the prize, you know. Stop putting women on such a high pedestal and reaching for something that you don't have to reach for, when you can just create the life you want by being the person that you deserve to be. And I say this all the time. I say success is something you attract by the person you become. So whatever it is that you want, whether it's the woman, whether it's the place, whether it's the location, just become the person that earns the right to have that experience. Just be a better person.
But mindset, you said you should just become the person that you deserve to be. Yeah. What does that mean exactly?
It's subjective to you, right? Like, if you want something,
how would one know? How would a young prince listening to King talk know? Listen, how can you teach a young prince to be the person he deserves to be? Mindset.
Right. So in a sense of, what do you want in your world, right? Like, what type of things, what type of experiences would you like to show up in your world? And you got to be the reflection of that. So everybody here has an ideology or thought of how they want to create their reality. Whether they know it or not, you're the one in charge of your reality. So if you say, I want, you know, maybe a 5-bedroom house, or maybe, you know, one of the supercars, or just maybe a beautiful relationship with your significant other, you have to be the person that earns the right to have those experiences. So what does that mean? It means, what do you need to do in order to have the car, right? Whether your credit needs to be in line, whether you have to have good habits with your finances. Do you know the information or the places to have that show up in your life? So it's just basically, once again, being the person that deserves the right to have the experience. And that means really placing an emphasis on how to do the thing that you said you wanted. So if I
got you. See, I'm with you. I'm with you every time until you say that deserve word.
Oh,
you was throwing out earn. You even said earn. Like, you know, if you want the house, the 5-bedroom house, you want the Lambo, you want the cool lifestyle, you don't want to have to worry about stuff, then you got to go out there and earn. And I was like, okay, cool. But then you ended with this deserve thing.
Yeah.
Like that. So, and I think that's the issue that a lot of people have, because so many people, young men, think they deserve stuff that they didn't necessarily earn. But somebody then told them, you go get what you deserve. And that's why I'm pushing. That's why I'm fucking with you right now, mindset, because when we throw out that deserve word, a lot of people's going to say, well, shit, I deserve it. I deserve a 5-bedroom house. I deserve the brand new Tesla. I want a Cybertruck. I deserve one. But then I say, well, why do you deserve that necessarily? And that's why I wanted you to try to explain. But then you explained that, no, you got to get out there and earn the shit. But then you ended it with the deserve part.
Okay. So yeah, you're 100% right. Like, the reason why I say deserve is just, because Shannon, like, you deserve to have everything you want in your life. The only way you're going to get it is if you earn the right to have the experience. So that means you got to actually be in alignment with your assignment. You got to do the things that you need to do in order to have what you want. So, like, for me, The only reason why I throw out the deserve is because just to put the mindset out there that, hey, look, you might have some lofty goals, but you know, whatever it is that you want, you can get it. But yes, 100% you got to earn it. 100% you have to earn it.
Yeah, and I think, and I also think, you know, being realistic with your expectations and setting up a roadmap of how to get there, right? I think people need to understand that progress comes in increment steps, right? That build up over time, right? You gotta be able to map out, see what the end goal is, and find the strategic steps to get there, right? I think far too often people go halfway and then hit the I deserve button and think that that's going to catapult them to the finale or to their end goal, and that is further from the truth. You know, people have to really understand that, you know, when someone, for example, if someone's given $1 million at 18, it's not the same thing as if somebody had to earn that $1 million by the time they started at 18 and got it when they were 28. You know what I'm saying? You respect them different. You view that person much different, right? Because they grind and work for it, as opposed to I deserve and they were giving it up front. The level of respect for it, it's not the same. And people who are on the outside looking in at times can see that.
But are we talking about getting some ass? Because you ain't got to work hard to get no goddamn ass. I don't know why we lie to these goddamn people. You ain't got to work for shit. It's 2023, guys. It's not 1987. 87, we had to work hard than motherfucker out there. We had to put on a hard hat and get our lunch pail and go chop it up. Dude, 2023, you ain't got to do shit. Broke motherfuckers are getting ass. Only thing you got to do is listen and pay attention. That's
we
it.
can always trust him.
Yo,
We can
man,
trust him
it
to bring us
is
back to our
the thing too.
our
Hey.
primal selves.
We talk like it's the hardest thing out here to get some ass. 20 minutes, man, just pay attention. Pay attention and
He's
sit
gonna
back.
always bring us back. He gonna bring us back to just go out there and smash that pussy.
Settle
Get the
that
pussy, boy.
Beat it up.
What are you talking about?
I'm out here shaking these bushes every goddamn day. I ain't a six-figure dude. I ain't gonna lie to you, right? I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm out here shaking these bushes and shit's falling everywhere.
Man, don't let him keep lying to y'all, man. He riding around one of them classics, man.
Hey, Jay, I just put a new battery and alternator in it, boy. Bad boy's purring now, baby.
That's what I'm talking, man. That's
with the rooftop down.
Yeah.
No, that's my next one. My next one's a T-top, but I got a rag top on mine. No, it's hard top.
But notice how you say next one.
What, you got a cutlass? Sound like I hear a cutlass.
1975 Chevy Impala, baby.
Yeah, don't be doing on like that, man. Talking about cutlass, man. Shiny, you wrong for that shit, man.
Jay, is that your dream car?
What? Cutlass?
Yeah.
Oh, no. It ain't considered a class, at least in Chicago, man. Like the folks, somebody everybody had a cutlass. But you know, if you had something that was in the 70s or something like that, then you was on the 11 is clean, you on another level. I'm gonna give me an old school, man. I just hate when I see them looking so good and they broke down on the side. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, and go ahead and let's go ahead and bring this to a close, man. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to King Talk tonight. Make sure you guys follow everybody, man. Make sure you guys support Sean. And Sean, you still got the merch, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Go ahead and plug it, man.
All right, yeah. So I'm the guy with the rich hoodies that y'all saw that time there. And so site is B, the letter B, richnyc.com.
Yeah, there you go. Make sure you guys check out the merch, man. Make sure y'all follow Shannon Rawls on YouTube. Luis is I think he might be on HGTV or something now.
Actually, I have some pretty good announcement, but I'll bring it up in 2 weeks, depending on what the result is.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna hold on. We're gonna hold on to it. So y'all make sure y'all tap back in a couple weeks, man, so they can do the reveal. Big Cloud is fucking singing everywhere, man. I think you got a collab with Chris Brown, right?
Not quite, but I definitely got a new single out right now called "New Girl" featuring Big Bro Cash Flow. So please check that out. the record of the summer. You dig?
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all check out Cloud, man. He bringing a lot of energy, man. For Mindset Mogul, speaking every fucking way and shit, man. Like you still with using Earn Your Leisure tour too, right?
Everywhere right now.
It's everywhere. Okay. Shit, Purple Pill Pod, man. It's like the new Fresh and Fit, man. Make sure y'all check him out, man. Hink in the Basement, man. But he got a couple shows about to come out or something, man. Right, Hink?
I'm just trying to do my thing, one subscribe at a time, big brother. I'm trying to catch up with you.
Man, you so modest, man. Hink is a legend, man. Hink is a legend. Like y'all see it every day, man. I definitely like the guys' perspective. Make sure you guys follow and support each other. That's what it's all about. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel on your way out. Shout out to the sponsor, again, Teach Hanley, man. And we'll catch y'all next week, same time. Oh, yeah, make sure y'all catch our Trigger Mike show in the morning. Our stay-at-home dad's a good idea. That's what it's going to be. 11:45 a.m. Central Time. That'll be 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time.
Purple Pill.
Hey, Sean, could you put your information in the back, man, about your clothing line?
Yeah, I absolutely will.
Purple Pill. Did you watch that? Did you watch Rolo do the reaction to your video the other day?
Yeah, I did a reaction yesterday. And I called out him, Fresh and Fit, and Michael Sartain, and told them all they're the worst part of the manosphere right now.
Oh shit! You starting up? You kicking up dust?
Oh, shit.
All right.
Smoking the manosphere.
All right, y'all. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all's perspectives. We out, y'all. We out. Got Trigger Mike show in the morning, family. Want to say thank you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all the support you guys are giving us. Another bang in the books. If you're just tuning in, just missed a great show. Catch on replay. Shout out to the sponsor, Teach Hanley. Come get a skincare for me. Let's go. want to say thank you guys on behalf of the Lapeef Network. Make sure you hit the like button so you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to appreciate that, Hank. Make sure y'all get Hank a follow, man. Hank in the basement. Just type it in YouTube. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tonight for King Talk. Just tune in. This is a great show. Catch you back on the replay. Shout out to all the Grand Gangers in the chat. Shout out to you. It's the last track, man. Shout out to all my third shifters out there. You just getting off on second shift. Shout out to you as well. You in life. All my first responders out there. Make sure y'all be careful out there. Listen to all the truck drivers that's making things happen around the world. Y'all be safe out there on the last track, family. Like I said, like, like button, so make sure you subscribe to the channel.